get your PowerPoint up. All right, whenever you're ready.
So I remember the day I moved in, I was super excited. I went to the dining halls. I thought college would be like just like how it is in the movies, where you move in with your best friend, you instantly find your clique and all these people that you're going to spend the next 4 years with. It wasn't like that. I went to the dining halls and I saw a lot of people there on their phones, sitting by themselves, and I was really sad because I also ended up being by myself and sitting on my phone. So cell phones have completely transformed our society from the way we talk to people to the way we get information. This is something I grew passionate about last year in my comp class. We were talking about living meaningful lives and how cell phones and other technology can impact our goals. So I don't have time to talk about everything we discussed in that class, but I'm going to do my best to explain how cell phones may be harming your lives. So first, we're going to talk about how they affect our relationships. Cell phones are linked to antisocial behavior and poor communication skills. In a study by Shaposnik and Unwin, they found that many of their participants were phone walkers. So what this means is that they had their cell phone out, but they weren't actually using it. They were using their cell phone to avoid situations. I know I'm guilty of this, and I'm sure many other people are also. This is a real problem because we're social creatures, and avoiding interactions, and this is just one way, but avoiding interactions can have serious side effects on us. And we'll talk about it more later. They're linked to a worsened ability to communicate face-to-face, according to Jin Park in a 2013 article. And that really kind of makes sense. If you're using your cell phones to avoid situations and to get out of, certain interactions, then yeah, you're not developing those social skills that you need. So it makes sense that you kind of do worse when you do communicate with people face to face. A big point is that cell phones make it easier for teens and other people to communicate in technology-assisted adolescent dating violence, according to Stonard in his 2019 article about this. So what this means is sexting, dating abuse, harassment, stalking, all of this is so much easier with the use of cell phones. If you just think 40 years ago, it'd be virtually impossible to stalk somebody, but now all you have to do is go on SnapMap and you instantly know where that person is, who they're with, and it's really crazy that we can do that. And there's also this sense of anonymousness when we use our cell phones. Just like the internet, we go online and we can say whatever we want on the internet, and it really has no repercussions on us. Same thing when we use our cell phones. It's a lot easier to say things over a phone than to say to somebody face to face, which is one reason why cell phones can cause this. But really, I think the biggest point is that they can cause us to miss out on things that really matter. So if you're at a concert or a performance and you're on your phone, you're not going to get the same effect from that as if you were there in the moment paying attention. If you're in the dining halls and you're on your phone and maybe you miss seeing your best friend because of it. That's happened to me a lot. I've had all my friends come up to me and say like, hey, I saw you the other day, you didn't wave at me, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. If maybe you're on your phone, you're going through your residence hall, and you forget to check your mailbox, right? Maybe you got mail from your family or from whatever you ordered from Amazon, but you missed out because you were there on your phone. We don't know what we're missing out on because we're so glued to our phones. And I actually have a funny slide about this. I thought some comedy would be good. So she says, do you mind if I strap your phone to my forehead so I could pretend you're looking at me when I talk? I thought it was, some humor would be appreciated. Next slide, please. So now we know that they impact our social health. Let's look at how they impact our mental health. High usage of cell phones is linked to depression. And I have a quote from Ghassan Kapoor and Mohammed Aghdam in their 2015 study on how cell phones affect depression. They said that depression causes people to feel a sense of inferiority, lack of self-esteem, and poor social face-to-face relationships. These negative experiences can cause depressed people to resort to the internet, social media, text messaging, and cell phones to experience secure and supportive relations, which are less stressful for them. So going back to what I was saying earlier, this is just a big endless cycle. So say that you're in an awkward situation, and instead of breaking the ice, talking to that person, getting over the situation, whatever it may be, you decide to pull out your cell phone instead, and you avoid the situation. And that does work, yeah, but it does have consequences. It means that the next time you're also more likely to pull out your phone and do the same thing. You're more likely to keep avoiding situations, which in turn means that you are limiting your social interactions with people. Instead of talking to that person, getting over it, and developing your social skills more, you resort to your cell phone, which in turn could make you more awkward. You're more likely to keep doing it. There's that antisocial behavior that we mentioned earlier. So there's all kinds of effects there. They have a negative link to secure attachment styles. Next slide, please. And I kind of have the 4 attachment styles from social psychology on here. So basically, this is what we want to be, and cell phones cause us to be these 3. And if you see yourself up there, I mean, yeah, it might be your personality, but cell phones are also shown to cause these 3 behaviors. Next slide, please. And one reason is because they're being used as a substitute for relationships instead of actual relationships, physical relationships with people that you actually care about. Instead, you're on your phone scrolling through Facebook, and it can cause you to, I don't want to say it can cause you to be these ways, but it can develop those characteristics, right? And really just seeing things on a screen, this is a big point that I can't stress enough, it just detaches us. Like with what I was saying with the concert, when you go on your phone, it takes you out of the present situation, which has all kinds of effects as we've been looking at. So they're clearly harming our social and mental health, and now there's still more ways they affect us. Next slide, please. How familiar does this look to you? I know I use my phone every night when I go to bed. I'm sure many other people are guilty of the same thing, even though we all know, next slide please, that blue light is bad for us, right? We all know. People say, stay off your phone 30 minutes before you go to bed, an hour before you go to bed. I don't think anybody does that, but it's bad. We should listen to them because blue light does worsen our sleep. I have a quote from Preddy, Devi, and Priya in a 2018 study on cell phones and sleep. They said, and I quote, many of the participants cut off their activities due to cell phone usage and feeling addicted to be glued to their screens all the time, leading to sleepless nights, isolating themselves from family and friends, and feeling tired and lethargic otherwise. And they also concluded that using your cell phones before you go to sleep is linked to daytime fatigue and other characteristics of lack of sleep, like risk of obesity and worsened academic performance. All kinds of stuff there. So when you use your phone before you go to bed, you're more likely to be tired the next day, you're going to feel groggy, grumpy, you're going to feel physically exhausted. And as honor students, I'm sure that academic performance is at least somewhat important to most of you. When you use your cell phones before you go to bed, you're more likely to do worse in school. So I'm running out of time here, so skip the good stuff. But it's easy to see how the negative side effects cell phone has on us. So we've looked at how they impact our social health, our mental health, and our sleep quality. So in closing, it may be an unpopular stance, but I believe that cell phones really are harming us. And my hope is that cell phones don't get the chance to ruin any of your well-being.